shared about him. Jack Brigham was a great humanist and a great educator. He was completely devoted to young people, especially students. He was a board member and extremely generous with his resources in supporting our foundation. He was a progressive leader in Kern County and a friend of labor. Also a proponent of workers' rights. He was one of the earliest supporters of the United Farm Workers. As a part of the Teachers Union, he served as president of the Central Labor Council. I'm going to cut into the Lotus's words here, and I don't know if this is correct, but I think that he had a lot to do with rebuilding this hall and securing the resources to make this hall. So he has history right here in the place where we're celebrating this evening.
He's actually a director of the Central Labor Council, just like August.
Okay, so he used to be the director of his place that we're in tonight. So it's also kind of special for us to commemorate him right here at this moment. His life was one of giving of himself, of his knowledge, and his resources to improve the lives of so many and make Kern County a more progressive community. He will be sorely missed, and it will take many people to fill his shoes. His life serves as an inspiration to others. Our prayers are with his family and his loved ones. And if everyone can please join me when I say Jack Brigham, I would like us all together to say presente, and that means he is present here with us. Jack Brigham.
Presente.
Jack Brigham.
Presente.
Jack Brigham.
Presente.
Que viva Jack Brigham.
Que viva.
And now if we can all just please just have a moment of silence in his honor. Thank you, and I'm going to pass it to you.
Sure, yeah.
This letter is hosting a memorial service for him at Bakersfield College at August the 3rd at 7:30. So anyway, the Bakersfield, you guys organize that, and but it would be nice for as many people to show up as possible. Thank you.
Okay, so for those of you who didn't hear, Bernice just made an announcement about Jack Brigham's memorial service at Bakersfield College, August 3rd, 7:30, right?
Yes.
Okay. And if you need more details, you can also visit the foundation's website, thelotusmuerta.org. And we hope to see you there. We'll be there. Thank you so much, Juana, for leading us in that. Today we are here because of the youth from the Martin Luther King Jr. Freedom Center. And they have a partnership also with the Institute of Community Leadership, which is based in Washington State. They'll have more details about their organization, but they've been partnering with us on a voter registration campaign and a civic engagement boot camp generally. And today they're going to provide us with a report back on the great work that they've been doing. And the idea here, right, is to, we have, for them to infect you, the people, right, who are actually, getting out there, getting involved. If you're not getting involved, the hope is that you will get involved, right? Because we have a very important election coming up in November. We just had two conventions, and we saw, we've been given our options, and now we have to make our choice. But let's also put some work into that right choice. Okay, so I'm going to pass it to Roy now, who's going to take it from here, and we're going to hear some testimonials from some of the youth here. This mic might be a little bit short, so we'll see how far it goes, but we might have to rearrange ourselves here to get the person who's going to provide the testimonial. Okay, yeah, we'll huddle up. Yes. All right.
Maybe the speaker can come in the front if he's there.
If we need to be sure, whatever works.
I think we got it. Good evening, brothers and sisters. It's great to be here with you. On behalf of the Institute for Community Leadership and the Martin Luther King Jr. Freedom Center, our profound appreciation and respect, our admiration to the Dolores Huerta Foundation, all of the staff of the foundation. Please give them a warm applause. To all of the sisters and brothers that we've had the joy of meeting, thank you for your hospitality and friendship and for inviting us into your homes, your neighborhoods, your parks, your festivals, your ideas, your history, your love. We are not only moved, we're transformed by being on this soil, the earth, with the hands that till the earth, plant the seeds from the source that generated a movement that started a long time ago, before this land became what it is today, and will continue for a long time to come. However, within this soil, in this county, arose a movement that changed America and the world. A movement that tied together workers and community, what others have called a community union, and we're very, very moved by what you do and what we're doing. Would like to say just a few things. I'll turn it over to the young people. The Martin Luther King Jr. Freedom Center, Oakland, California, was founded by Congresswoman Barbara Lee and an organization called the March and Rally Committee, the Dr. King March and Rally Committee. It's the oldest organization that carries out a march on Dr. King Day in the Bay Area, and the effort was to create an organization for youth that would study nonviolence and civic engagement with an intergenerational, interracial focus. The Institute for Community Leadership is from the Tacoma, Washington area. We at the Institute for Community Leadership came down to do the youth programming. We were asked to assist 8 years ago. Congresswoman Lee knew us, and so now we're the Martin Luther King Jr. Freedom Center in Oakland, California, and it's a joy to have two wings of one single eagle that can fly across the west coast of the United States. We are dedicated to integrating young people into real life community problem solving. In a way, we're opposed to the definition of young people that's currently among parts of our society, in that they should be isolated, they got unique problems, and that they are in a position that our seniors are not in, or our single mothers are not in, or working people are not in. So while there's plenty of space for youth to do youth things, we're very committed to the intergenerational approach to young people being brought in at an early age to work with their sleeves up and their minds open. I'll tell the facts so you all can get to the exciting stuff. We get up at 5:45 every morning. We feed ourselves. We're being hosted by the Bear Mountain Parks and Recreation people. Chairman Corley again. It's been very, very helpful to us. We are sleeping on the floors. They also have a swimming pool in Lamont. We drive over and shower at the swimming pool, and we take off to Bakersfield, hook up into our classes. After we're done doing doorbelling in Bakersfield, we go back and eat dinner and doorbell in Lamont. It's been an exciting time. We do an evening class. We go to bed at 11 p.m. 7 nights a week. It's a boot camp, and so we put food in the camp. And I'm going to just pass it around. So here we go.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. So my name is Karen, and I come from Oakland, California, the Martin Luther King Jr. Freedom Center. And so all of us in red shirts up here are working hard this summer, dedicating, the month of July to getting out the vote. And all of these groups of students up here, we've all prepared for this month, and we like to study nonviolence. So that is, Martin Luther King Jr., Cesar Chavez, Mahatma Gandhi. We like to study before going out into the field and doing it. And so this past month, we've been studying every morning, having classes. We like to read poetry. We like to sing songs. And so we really, really, really like to just read and learn. We value learning. We love to learn, both from books and from the people that we've been meeting in the Bakersfield area. And so we, at the Martin Luther King Jr. Freedom Center, feel so welcome into the communities that we've been in, knocking doors, because all of the people that we've met have been so inviting and have been so nice to us. And sometimes I think we might look intimidating going in with red shirts, a bunch of groups of kids, getting dropped off in the neighborhood. But a lot of people have received us very well. And just today, a group of us, went out canvassing, and we talked to this man. We talked to him for quite a while, and he said, I can't register, but I really, really appreciate the work that you are doing. You guys are getting out the vote, and that's something very important and very urgent in America right now. So he was very thankful, and he gave us some grapes. So that is something a part of him. We talked to him for a while, so that he gave us a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of him and his heart, and just moments like those are ones that we want to take back to our communities. And we want to be able to tell the people back home in our schools and our churches, back in our community, what we're learning. Because we're learning and we're talking to the people who, up in Washington State and up in Oakland, we don't really see the people who are bringing all of the food to our tables. And we're meeting those people at their homes. And so that's something that we will not forget and that we want to bring back. At the Martin Luther King Jr. Freedom Center, we value gratitude. And so every time before we eat, we say a statement of gratitude. And that because we're so diverse and because we're all of different ages, we sometimes it'll be religious, sometimes it'll be in form of song, but we like to say thank you. And now that we're meeting these people, every single time that we're eating, we're giving thanks to the people that we met. And so those can be, the farm workers, or they could be just people that we met, canvassing at the supermarket. And so we really feel that sense of community here in Bakersfield and the communities that we've been in.
Hi, my name is Martha, and I'm from the Washington branch of the Martin Luther King Jr. Freedom Center. And I'm really grateful to be here, and I'm really, really grateful for the interdependence that we have on each other. All the clothes that we have were made by workers around the world who put their blood, sweat, and tears into the clothing that we have. I'm really grateful for all the hardworking people who put the tables that we have here, for all the hardworking people who pick the grapes and the food and the fruits that we have. I think sometimes as Americans, we kind of seem to forget where we come from. We forget who had to bring what we had here. And so I'm very grateful that we're here to see that these are the fields that our corn comes from. These are the fields that our carrots come from. And these are the workers who work so hard to have what we have here. And walking around and speaking to people in the community and being able to knock on their doors and register people to vote, I think it teaches us very valuable lessons that we can bring back to our community. How to speak to people. Because sometimes we lose that sense of communication, being able to look somebody in the eye and talk to them. And I'm really grateful for that part of the experience. And I know that in order for a democracy to work, we have to all put our voices in there. And our voices matter. And whenever we speak to somebody and says that, I don't know if I want to vote, because I don't know if my voice counts. Of course our voice counts. All of our voices count. Because the biggest party in America is the I Don't Vote party. And if we get enough people to put their voices in there, I have faith in America that we will make the right choice when it comes to who runs the country. I have faith in America that we will make the right choice into who runs our schools and to make sure the people who are running our districts, the people who are serving our community, looks like the people in the community. I think that's very important. And I'm really grateful for the work that we're doing here, because we can take all of the lessons that we've learned from Kern County, from Bakersfield, from Lamont, from Delano, and bring it back to our own communities in Washington State and in Northern California. So it is a really wonderful experience, and I'm really grateful for this interdependence that we have on each other, and the sense of urgency that we have this year to make sure that we all do make the correct decision, that everybody's voices are heard, because that is how a democracy works.
Good evening, everybody. So I'm very grateful for the opportunity that we had this summer, for all of us to having the learning experience, the opportunities overall to connect with others, to interact with all the people in Bakersfield and help us change our lives so that we can bring it back to our own communities. And so this summer we have learned, so specifically I want to talk about how we've learned about how to learn. So when you learn, you have to have your direct experience so you can process in your brain, right? So this summer we had our direct experience about how we organize and how we are able to interact with people, because we're always talking about how to change ourselves, how to study Martin Luther King, Dolores Huerta, Cesar Chavez, a whole list of these amazing and powerful people in this world. And now we finally had the direct experience, that one part that we needed to learn and to bring back to our own communities. And so after you have that direct experience, you develop that perception, that way of how you perceive that situation and how you brought it to yourself. And so I think I know a lot of us did take all that we did and talking to every single one of these people that helped change our lives, as little as it can be, just that little conversation that they told you, yeah, you're doing an awesome job, keep it coming. Like, nobody has come into my door, whatever it is. We've made a big, big impact. Everything that we've seen here, everything that we've learned, as I said, little small things have impacted us. So I want to bring up how yesterday we went to Yesenia's Vecinos Unidos. It was amazing. I mean, in my community, I haven't seen the community come together and vote on something important, something that we all need for the better of ourselves. And I think it was really cool, because in my community, I don't see people going on and talking to each other. We tend to be on our cell phones and go by ourselves and isolate ourselves without actually realizing my neighbor does this, or my neighbor is my friend. We forget that part about ourselves. And for sure, for me, for us, we're going to bring back to our community and start connecting with each other more and start sharing all these things, all these experiences that we had. A lot of us forget that all the food that we eat came from somewhere, came from somebody that used their hands, hours and hours of this work to make this food, to harvest this food. And they're out there in this hot, they're out there everywhere for us. And a lot of us don't realize it. A lot of us, especially from where we're from, we just consume this food without thinking, wow, this came from over here, this came from over there. And I just want to say thank you to all those farm workers, to all those people that bring that food to our tables. For example, the food that we have back there, where did it come from? We may not know who those people are, but we can say and we can show the gratitude that every meal that we have came from somewhere, and that those farm workers and those people lived really, really hard to make that food. Thank you.
My name is Myra. I am originally from Washington State, the Institute for Community Leadership, and the Jack Odell Educational Center in Kent, Washington. So It's about probably 30 minutes southeast of Seattle and 30 minutes northeast of Tacoma. For those of you that are ever up there in the area, come and visit us. So in Bakersfield this month, we've knocked on over or approximately 7,000 doors between all of us here together. And every one of those doors inspired all of us to learn something new and to get not only ourselves, our families, our neighbors, our cousins, our tias, everyone that we know out to vote, but also to take the time to really listen to one another. Because whether or not somebody chooses to vote this election is determined by how much love, how much hope, how much compassion, how much dedication and joy we can emulate towards them. And I think for all of us in the organization and being here, inspiring others to vote is really a chance for us to pay attention and understand that voting is only the first step, and most of us here in this room are going to vote. So the next step is getting your neighbors to vote and getting as many of the people that are in your life out to vote. I noticed Maria was walking around. She was asking us, "Are you registered to vote? Are you registered to vote?" That's the kind of motto that we should have whenever you go up to anybody. Are you registered to vote? Are you registered to vote? Good. Do you get your ballot by mail? Good. Okay. And you're planning to vote this 2016? You're not? Okay, well, let me tell you why. That's really important to vote this 2016 election, because we are in a really urgent time. And what we all need to advertise is that hope. Because if we don't keep hope alive, the other side and others around us aren't going to remember to keep hope alive. And so that's why we have a role to play. And Dolores Huerta told us all last night that we can't be passive in the work that we do, and inspiring all of us to be engaged citizens. And so for all of us in here today, I also want to say that we had the privilege and honor of registering Jorge's mom to vote. And we ended up showing up a bit later than we were supposed to, and it was this wonderful experience of creating a relationship with somebody who we might not ever get the chance to meet, and hopefully we'll be back and we'll get the chance to speak to your mom again. But I think that those encounters, meeting people who you otherwise wouldn't get to meet, meeting people from different generations, meeting people from different realms of work, and not only just saying, hello, but really engaging them to do something, to say something, to jump up and down, to talk to somebody that they haven't talked to before. So I think that that is an opportunity that all of us have had here. And all of us are about 30 people, and we've had rotating students. So about half of us are from Oakland, California, the Bay Area, and the other half is from Washington State. So it's definitely been an experience being out here, because most of us don't encounter communities that are that are pushing this closely to work together and collaborate. And the fact is that it's not democracy when 30% of the population votes. 14%. Yeah, 14% in the next election, and that's not democracy. So we are the ones that create democracy. We are the ones that get others to vote. We are the ones that keep the future in good hands, and that is really important to all of us. And we're here to learn. We're here to take as much back as we can to our community. So thank you for giving us that opportunity. Thank you for teaching us something at every single moment, and Thank you for inviting us into your community. We could not be the young men and women that we are today if it wasn't for you all being the women and men that you are today. So thank you very much.
We're proposing a question and answer dialogue, if you're willing. Before we do that, I'd like to acknowledge two of our colleagues. Karen MLK is the Government and External Relations Director for both the Institute for Community Leadership and the Martin Luther King Junior Freedom Center. And Nyla Rosen is the Director of the Institute for Community Leadership. And I mentioned the Bear Mountain Parks and Recreation. However, I wanted to say it, now that Jorge's here, I'd like to say something directly to him. He's got something that all of us have. He's bold with it, and that is voice. The wonderful spoken word artist, and you don't have to be a spoken word artist, but voice is essential to voting. And voting is voice. And it's extremely important that we develop voice. It's well known that if we don't use something, the ability to use it when we need it goes away. And our people are subjected to an onslaught of conscious and perhaps subtle forms of taking away our voices. In our purse or pockets right now, there's something we use, and yes, it has convenience, but it also robs us of having to use the energy of voice. We have to vote, and we have to use our voice to vote. So, would you join me and shout out, vote, vote now.
Vote! Vote now!
Vote,
Vote now! Vote! Vote now! Vote! Vote now!
all right. And Jorge taught us something incredible. If you're from Northern California, you don't know this, but you freeze grapes. And it's ice cream. It's like way cool. So thanks for the frozen grapes.
Sharing with us. So we will do a Q&A, but before we get there, I did want to acknowledge a few dignitaries that are in the room today, and I thank you for coming. And I think I wanted to do this because I want to show, I mean, it's good to showcase our talent here, our local talent, and to demonstrate that we can do this. We can accomplish great things if we set our mind to it. So first of all, I'd like to recognize Jose Gurola, who's here in the corner. And Jose is the Arvin City Councilman. And if I'm not mistaken, he's the youngest Arvin City Councilman ever, right? Yes. Okay. Yeah. Sitting next to him is
Running for mayor next year too of Arvin.
oh, okay. So running for mayor in Arvin. If I could vote for you, I would. And Jasmine Robles, right? So she's also an Arvin City Councilwoman. Arvin Latino youth have taken over that city council, so I'm really proud of you guys. Good work. Okay, so we have Jorge Guillen, who Roy mentioned. He's a board member with the Bear Mountain Parks and Recreation. And we have my friend here, Jose Garza, who is a Fulbright scholar, and he works with Latino immigrant youth. He implemented a local version of the Ivy League program, and where he sponsors and mentors kids to apply to Ivy League schools. Then we have, lastly but not least, Dr. Ray Gonzalez, who's former assemblyman and first Latino elected official at the state level in Kern County. Is that right, Ray? Thank you all for coming. And I think we should probably, Yolanda, do you want to? We're going to there's a union song which MLK youth are going to lead us in, right? So if you can kind of pass that around, Yolanda, real quick. We're going to, yeah.
Dr. Gonzalez, his term is up on the Bakersfield City
Oh.
School Board of Trustees, so you all remember, he's going to be on your ballot.
Okay,
Dr.
so
Gonzalez.
Dr. Ray Gonzalez, Bakersfield City School District Board Member, will be on the November ballot, right, Ray?
Right.
All right, you got my vote. Okay, so just, we're going to do the Q&A, so just, prepare your questions here. Before we start that, we're going to sing a song here to get motivated. And, while we're passing this around, I did want to mention that we just saw the two conventions of the two parties in these past 2 weeks, and I really wanted to emphasize, one of the big themes in the Democratic convention, which is we need to get into the arena. Okay, we cannot sit on the sidelines, right, and allow others to vote for us. Okay, we need to get into the arena, even if we don't agree, fully with our party's ideology. That's okay. We need to form a coalition, and we need to get out there and vote, and we need to work together. So these MLK youth are actually motivating me to do that. So thank you all for putting yourselves out there, getting into the arena. Okay, so who's going to lead us in the song here? I don't know the song, so. Yolanda. Yeah, Yolanda, come on up. Come on, Yolanda.
You guys can just follow us with this one. This one's kind of easy. We're gonna roll, we're gonna roll, we're gonna roll this union on. We're gonna roll, we're gonna roll, we're gonna roll this union on. And if the cops get in the way, we're gonna roll right over them. We're gonna roll right over them. We're gonna roll right over them. And if the cops get in the way, we're gonna roll right over them. We're gonna roll this union on. We're gonna roll, we're gonna roll, we're gonna roll this union on. We're gonna roll, we're gonna roll, we're gonna roll this union on. And if the growers get in the way, we're gonna roll right over them. We're gonna roll right over them. We're gonna roll right over them. And if the growers get in the way, we're gonna roll right over them. We're gonna roll this union on. We're gonna roll, we're gonna roll, we're gonna roll this union on. We're gonna roll, we're gonna roll, we're gonna roll this union on. And if the doubters get in the way, we're gonna roll right over them. We're gonna roll right over them. We're gonna roll right over them. And if the doubters get in the way, we're gonna roll right